Here, I gotta roll this back, dude. Good morning, everybody. It took me forever to find a song I wanted to play at the top because every Rick and Morty song is so cringe, and every remixed version of every Rick and Morty song is cringe. But whatever, here we go. Szechuan Sauce remix. Even with the wubba lubba dub dub. Can you believe that? Ugh. It really does. The more I hear it, the more it makes me cringe. Oops, wrong thing. Bear with me. We've got technical difficulties at the top. That's what the music's for. Hello, Vault. Hello, Andy. One day, Andy will make all the beats for our show, and I would love that. Oh, I hate this. I'm so ready to be over the pickle. I just gotta share out links, and then we can go over the pickle. And this is shouts out to Trap Music Now on YouTube. Wow. Excellent. With the Szechuan Sauce Rick and Morty remix, dude. This is all over for everyone. The Rick and Morty industrial complex is done, dude. No more Szechuan sauce. Adult Swim is losing their minds. They don't know what to do. Szechuan sauce. Dude, the fact that Szechuan sauce was even a phenomenon just because of Rick and Morty is just one of the stupidest things. You gotta love it. Alright, there's that. Let me post to the Discord real quick. Andy Pickle. Shouts out to Andy Pickle out there. There we go. All right. I turned myself into a pickle. Pickle Rick, baby. What up, everybody? Welcome to the Clout Route Morning Show. It is just I, Danny, here today with you, everyone in the audience. And we are going to talk about Justin Roiland today. And, you know, it's with a heavy heart, I guess. I mean, I don't know. What the fuck? I'm not that big of a Rick and Morty fan. Maybe I was at one point in time. A pretty big, like, Justin Roiland, Rick and Morty guy. But, I mean, pretty big is a stretch. But you know what I mean. Like, I was into it just as much as everybody else was. The thing is it got old. And I think it started to get old for everyone. And I think, you know, it's pretty much ran its course. Like, if there was no Justin Roiland drama right now, I think everybody would be satisfied with another season that maybe wrapped everything up. And even the people that were really into Rick and Morty could just be done with it. And I mean, I think they need to seriously evaluate what the hell they're going to do from here on out. I mean, we'll get into it. So, anyways, like I said, good morning to everyone. I hope you have your coffee fees. Drink some coffee fees with me. And yeah, let's have some fun dancing on Justin Roiland's little grave here. I mean, dancing on it, like I said, you know, I liked him once upon a time. And, you know, I'm sure he's going to come out with his own piece or whatever, and we'll hear that, but I don't think it's going to change much when you see like some of the weird stuff he did. So at the top here, the first thing that I wanted to show you, and I think that maybe this is how the people at Adult Swim feel right now. People in chat can kind of sound off here. Thoughts? What would you do in this situation? I keep seeing this clip getting shared all over. It's like going viral on TikTok or something. The planet just imploding. And when I saw it the first time, I was stoned out of my mind. And I was like, oh, wow, dude. What would I do in this situation? I mean, what do you do in this situation? You don't know this situation. All of a sudden, you're like falling into the earth on fire and you're dead. So I'm not thinking much about this situation. But I thought it was a funny thing to watch because essentially this is Adult Swim's world right now. It's like, what would you do in this situation when your world flips inside the fuck out, dude? Seriously, because it's over for them. I mean, as we'll go through here, it's hard to... Here's the really big thing about Rick and Morty is that it's the biggest show on Adult Swim, so it's their biggest property by far. Hey, PT. Hey, Poland Spring. God, it's somebody we know, but can't think of it. Shouts out. But anyhow, Rick and Morty, definitely their biggest property. You know, Justin Roiland swinging his dick everywhere between Adult Swim, Hulu. He's got a video game company, yada, yada. So, like, he's doing a shit ton. And he is by far, like, one of the biggest what do I say here? Not bringer in of money. I don't know. I can't think of the I can't think of the fancy term here, but he brings in more money to Adult Swim than almost anyone else, I'm sure. Now with Rick and Morty, I uninstalled all the games too. I had High on Life to beat, which we'll talk about. I played through most of it, but I should have beaten it, but I was just like, it just doesn't, it's not as fun anymore. And we'll get to that. But yeah, like with Rick and Morty specifically, they already had trouble with Dan Harmon. I mean, Dan Harmon's been in allegation after allegation already and been in controversy and trouble already. So like that staff there already kind of suffered from the controversy from him. And now Justin Roiland brings the heat. And they say, which we'll see here. Here's the Rick and Morty post, actually. If we look at this, Adult Swim has ended its association with Justin Roiland. Now, this is, I think, just yesterday, right? Or no, 2 days ago. Ended its association with Justin Roiland. Rick and Morty will continue. The talented and dedicated crew are hard at work on season 7. Now, while I do, you want... All right, sunglasses are over. While you do want those people to, like, the people that aren't Justin Roiland being a creep, you do want them to keep their jobs and stuff. And, I mean, like I said, it's panic mode there at Adult Swim, so they're trying to figure out what the fuck they can even do. So I see how they want to go forward. They kind of have to. They have no choice. What's up, CJ? And I just think it's going to be a big shit show. It's just going to be a big, giant shit show. Like, people are already I think that it was already on its way down. People are already on the come down on Rick and Morty. People don't talk about it nearly as much. People think the fan base is cringy, yada, yada, yada. Like, I just think that they're completely fucked. I would abandon ship if it was like if it wasn't my only way of making money, which seems to be the case there at Adult Swim. So actually, and I forgot about this. I don't even think I put it in the notes. I did a poll the other day, asking everybody what they thought about. Did I pass it? No. Okay, here we are. Without Justin Roiland, will you still watch Rick and Morty? Now, it's still got a little bit of time left on the vote, and we'll look at it again maybe with Kevin on the podcast. But at this point, people say, yeah, they'll still watch Rick and Morty, which is interesting. I'm in this boat here. Kill it. And there's a big majority of people, almost as much as who still watch it, that have already stopped watching. So, oh, goodness gracious. Calm down, chat. Yeah, so like, according to this, now this is 28 votes, so it's not that many people, obviously. It's not a major poll here, but it is interesting to me to just think out of that much. Like, yeah, there's still a lot of people that watch it, I guess. A lot of my buddies, a lot of people that are interested in the podcast still watch it. Interesting. Well, so the story goes that, and this is where it gets wild and kind of disgusting. Before I get into his allegations and what's happened, I guess, let's look at chat. We got CJ Brown, wubba lubba dub dub, dude. Yeah, appreciate that. Parking Tiger says, I almost timed out CJ as a power move. All right, guys, behave. It's a morning show. We're supposed to be drinking coffee and enjoying each other's company today. Let's see. VW so patient with Brownfinger. I hope everybody is patient with each other in chat. Let's go. I love Jalen. Yeah, everybody loves Jalen. Parking Tigers, I'm not going to watch. The show was still developed by an abuser, and it doesn't matter if the voices are gone, he says. Which I agree. I mean, like, I don't know. By principle, since he did all this gross ass shit, and yeah, I guess it's created by a gross ass dude and another gross ass dude, by the way. It's two gross ass dudes that make the show or created the show. Yeah, so after all these things come out, yeah, I think that I wouldn't watch Rick and Morty either way, but I kind of was just falling off, like I said. And yeah, they should have just killed it. This season, they just fucking chop its head off, I think. They should, but apparently there's like 10, I don't know. In one of the interview articles I saw, there was some Dan Harmon thing that said like 10 seasons is still plausible, which, yeah, we'll see how that goes. By that logic, you might as well rewatch old Breaklands if you rewatch Rick and Morty. I like that. It did have ICJ, but it's all melted now. I'm kind of the lights in here are hot. That's why I wear the fucking sunglasses sometimes, dude. When you have stage, I have like some professional ass lights in here, I guess. Whatever. I'm not flexing, but they're hot and they hurt. Well, they hurt my eyes. You know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, let's look at some of this disgusting shit. So, Justin, first, the news was that he had some, what was it? I put it in the doc. It was domestic violence charges that dropped. So, domestic violence charges dropped, and, ouch. Get me comfy here. Domestic violence charges dropped, and that's when people started talking about it. People were like, oh, Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck has he been up to? And then you hear the details of that story, and they're like, wow, okay, that's kind of weird. And that was the big news, you know. And I still think that that is kind of the big news. And this is the underlying story that's probably more important to shine. And I think it's getting out there more now, but he's talking to underage kids, underage girls, I think is what it is specifically, and very inappropriately and not giving a fuck. This specific thing says, nah, fuck Justin Roiland. I feel sick forever watching Rick and Morty. This man is fucking vile now. Trust me, I mean, I'm not going to feel bad. I have like 3 Rick and Morty shirts in my closet, dude. unfortunately, I'm gonna have to burn or something, along with some Teddy Fresh, as the fans want. But I don't feel sick for watching it. People are so overdramatic. What the fuck? Justin Roiland here. He says, "Oh yeah, sorry, at the airport. It's insane in the membrane. What time is it there now?" Now he's so. This is so like showing your age here. What the fuck, you creepy ass fuck with your insane in the membrane. I mean, this is something I would say, I guess. Just not to an underage girl. I wouldn't say it to an underage girl. Or any girl for that matter. But anyways, what time is it there now? 11:37. And then this is aside from talking to like underage folk and being inappropriate, but then he does this whole Asian shtick. The Teddy Fresh is ironic, by the way. Yep. He does this like Asian Chinese shtick. Ooh, oh, so right. And this is it. I'm reading, okay. Is so right, and me so Chinese. It's hard to read it without trying to put his inflection on it. Oh, gross, Justin. Okay, it's not funny. You don't do that kind of shit. Completely ignoring his cheesy ass Asian racist joke. She says, "I have school tomorrow," and then he says, "Oh, school tomorrow. Oh no." I don't know if that's more Asian shtick. Sure. FML. Okay, fuck my life. Justin says, "You should just run away from home and go into sex slavery. You fucking stupid F-slur bitch." Just kidding. So, there will be no Asian eyes on the show, okay? I don't even know what that means. Don't tell me to do some Asian eyes, okay? Come on, guys. You trying to get me canceled here? It's supposed to be this is the morning show. We're supposed to be enjoying each other's company. But yeah, Justin Roiland's really enjoying this lady's company when he says, "You fucking stupid F-slur bitch." Just kidding. And then she says, "You wish, you stupid bitch," which, like, okay, they're having fun. They're having fun, you know, their little back and forth, but I don't know why. I've never had the impulse to say the F slur a bunch, you know? It's like in the occasion that you're having a conversation with somebody and you're explaining, maybe I'm saying what he's saying and I have to drop the F slur, sure, whatever. But I'm not like in casual conversation in the DMs with some chick. I mean, I guess I'm not in the DMs with any chicks, but you know what I mean. I'm not casually just throwing around the F slur. It's kind of wild. I guess he did follow it up with a "just kidding," so we got to give him a little credit there, as Parking says in the chat. Oh, God. Would you do video game reviews and stuff like that? I bet you'd do good. She says, "Yeah, just playing games and shit." And then he says, "Then once you turn 18, you can just start cam whoring." So, yikes. Yeah, so we've got Justin here not only, you know, saying once you turn 18, which you would think as a grown man, when you're in a conversation, let's say hypothetically, okay, I'm a single grown man trying to mingle in some DMs on Twitter. The moment I get, you know, talking to a lady and she says, drops like a "I'm 16" line, like she does on him, and he just ignores or whatever, but you know, once that happens, it's like, I would honestly be sick to my stomach enough that it would be deleted, you know, and I'd probably delete my account. It'd be burnt alive. I'd be like, well, start from scratch, because that's fucking foul. You know what I mean? So it's wild to me to just completely brush past it and then later acknowledge it. And by saying, then once you turn 18, you can just start cam whoring. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? And then he says, why are you such jailbait? What's wrong with you in that regard? You should grow older, you dumb bitch. So, yeah. Like I said, not the other things. And then this, why are you such a jailbait? Essentially, he's like, yeah, you're hot as fuck. And you are underage, and I know, and I cannot wait. I don't want to speak the words that are probably in his head. But yeah, you should grow older, you dumb bitch. So like, all right. At one point, maybe I was like, damn, dude, Justin Roiland, like, what are you doing, dude, with the domestic violence charges? And I'm like, God, dude, you're a freak. And then this shit comes out, and it's like, you're beyond freak levels, dude. This is some fucking ew. It's like all the jokes he makes. It's the same thing with Louis C.K. And, I feel that definitely. When Louis C.K. and all that shit came out about him, and I loved Louis. And I fucking thought he was hilarious. I mean, I still think he's pretty funny, but I can give or take him now. It doesn't, I don't pay attention to him. But when the Louis thing happened, it was like, ew, dude, all of the jokes that you made all these weird jokes about men's power over women and how men are disgusting and yada, yada, yada. And then you did what you did. It's like, you're talking about yourself. And I feel like Justin Roiland kind of has the same case. Maybe like Salvo Pancakes, as we've all heard of before. Like, he made disgusting, over-the-line jokes and pointed out things as projection. And I think that maybe Justin had a little bit of that too. A lot of the things he points out in the show, they have like that creepy jelly bean dude that tries to like molest Morty in one episode, and they have like all this the incestual stuff allegedly is from Dan Harmon, but you get what I mean. Like, when you make jokes about this kind of stuff and then that's what you're really doing, it's like it makes you think twice about anybody that's out there. You follow any creator that's pointing out something specific, I mean, in a different realm, it's like, imagine CoffeeZilla or something being a crypto scammer. You find out that he's like in deep and been scamming people all along on crypto. It's just he's smart enough because he knows about it all. He's been able to hide it. Like, shit like that, it's like, it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth when you feel like you've been deceived. Justin Roiland makes certain kinds of jokes about bad people, and then he turns out to be one of those bad people. It kind of makes you sick. I hope we never... Okay, let's look at chat. Because I'm seeing things. All right, we've got... Justin is doing a Tate with cam girls, LMAO. I hope not, Vault Wanderer. That would make me even sicker. Parking Tiger says, I heard 19 and I hit the block button. I hear 19. Yeah, I agree. Block that shit. No children, okay? I'm too old for that shit. Even if, like, the Keemstars of the world try to justify, like, an 18-year-old whatever. I mean, no. There maybe wasn't a... I mean, I don't think I would even have considered an 18-year-old when I was, like, 25. But especially not now. Ugh. All right, anyways. Yeah, we've got a horny groomer, Justin. Yep, definitely. Louis isn't funny on podcasts anymore, Parking Tiger said. I have seen him, like, make appearances. I haven't really watched any. I listened to Tim Dillon and him, and I just think that Tim Dillon's funny all the time. Anyways, so I don't know. The Louis and Tim Dillon podcast didn't bother me, but I've seen Louis on a bunch of other shit. I haven't watched him on anything else yet. Ham says, I haven't bothered to hear any of Louis since his shit came out. I think I watched one of his stand-ups since his shit came out. Hash, what's up? She says, oh my yucky. I'm sure she came in at a great point in the conversation. Poland Spring says, I hope we never find out Danny projecting. I like to think he's a truly nice guy. Thank you. Gosh. Hash says, me too, Poland. I'm glad I have so many people in my corner here. Liberals always getting exposed for this kind of stuff. Danny, let me red pill you before it's too late. This is getting ridiculous. See, this is what I mean. Danny is an angel. Thank you. Heard about that crypto shit? Clout coin, baby. I like it. I do give all of my money to Ethan Klein's wife. That's true. I support their marriage. And then we've got Parking Tigers. Louis and Tim was probably the best one. Haha. Yeah, I agree. Well, I mean, I guess that's the only one I saw, but it was not that bad. Louis has gone on so many shitty podcasts to talk about making movies. It sucks. I mean, this is the thing. I want him to do something because, like, the stand-up's always the same with Louis. Everybody that watches it loves it. So it's like when I hear he comes out with new stand-up, it's like, oh, yeah, it's so great. I'm like, okay, well, yeah. The only people that are watching it are people on his website, and they all want to go watch it. So, I don't know. I want to see him do something else that's interesting, and then maybe I'll judge it from there. I still think he's going to be a freak, though, either way. But it's like Woody Allen's been in the fucking business forever. What the fuck they're all freaks. I don't know. Sometimes the art from the artist separation thing is like impossible because guess what? All these people that are like mega artists are fucking also mega creeps too, or they become mega creeps after they get so much money that they can do whatever they want and they're bored. I don't know. I digress. Let's move on. So some of the things affected from all this, one of them being, obviously all the victims and Justin Roiland, but Justin Roiland resigns from Squanch Games following domestic abuse charges. Now this, like I said, this is most of the news is talking about domestic abuse. Not talking about these DMs that we were just looking at that are gross. So I think it's interesting that, I don't know, that media decides to take that route. I would be fucking slamming him like I am now. Fuck you, Justin, you creep. Like, yeah, what? Domestic abuse charges and mega creep allegations with receipts. Gross. But anyways, while we're here at Squanch Games, I think it's going to all continue without Justin, and I kind of just wanted to talk about like the different games that I had played that they did. So they did this Trover Saves the Universe, which here I'll pull up pictures of it. I played this, and it was kind of like an on-rail sort of like you control a guy, but you're set in a specific spot with a certain camera angle. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's like an adventure, silly story game. It was whatever. I wasn't super into it. But it was all Justin Roiland shtick. It was like Rick and Morty on steroids. He got to do whatever he wanted in a game. And, it was whatever to me. And that was that. I didn't think much of Squanch Games, especially after playing that. Well, then High on Life started to be the talk of the town, and that came out recently. It wasn't that long ago, and it was going to be on Game Pass for free. So High on Life is the one with like the talking knife and the talking guns and everything like that, which the biggest criticism of the game, honestly, that I've heard people say, which you can toggle it in the options, but on High on Life, the biggest criticism I hear is the annoying voices that he does. It's kind of funny. Somebody wants to play like a shooter game, and they have to deal with Justin Roiland and other people. There are good, like, I think JB Smoove is one of the voice actors, the shotgun or something. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I can't remember, honestly. But some of the voices of the guns were kind of funny. But a lot of them were Justin Roiland being, his usual shtick. And, I got pretty far in High on Life. He was just like, weird little shooter. Here, let me pull up some pictures. I don't recommend any of it now, obviously. I don't even think I necessarily would have. Anyways, like, it's just kind of if you're into the Justin Roiland thing, then maybe you're into that. And if I wouldn't even recommend it to a shooter, like a person that's into first person shooters, because it's just so weird, But yeah, wouldn't recommend it. Wouldn't recommend either of them, really. High on Life definitely better than Trover. But here's the thing. I'm interested to see where a studio that develops essentially Rick and Morty expanded universe games, I mean, let's be honest, and where they go and what kind of games they make now after Justin Roiland's really not a part of it. I mean, they definitely won't rely on his bullshit voice. Yeah, don't get me to try to do a Justin Roiland impression. I thought about it. I saw Jalen do a Rick and Morty video or whatever, and I've seen tons of cringy Rick and Morty tryouts, and I don't even want to give my fucking any sort of impression. I'd fucking die on camera in Minecraft. So yeah, Squanch Games done, which is interesting. And then you've got Dan Harmon continues as the creator without Justin Roiland, and the voices will be replaced. So we looked at that. The official Rick and Morty post where they said it was going to go on or whatever. We looked at that earlier. Hulu also is in cahoots with Justin. I've never watched any of these shows either, but Solar Opposites and Koala Man. Interesting. Solar Opposites I think has been a thing for a while. It had to have been because I've heard of it. But this Koala Man, like, what the fuck, dude? Are you serious? Koala Man? I mean, what am I doing? I'm judging a book by its dumb name, but maybe the world will be a better place without Koala Man season 8 or whatever the fuck. Let's see what chat has to say about all of Justin Roiland's canceled projects here that we've been talking about. High on Life kind of made me cringe. I don't know. I downloaded it on Game Pass but never played it. Parking, yeah, I wouldn't recommend it really. Cringy is the thing. It's like more and more and more Rick and Morty came out, and then his other projects that he did that are basically the same thing, the cringier the whole shtick got. I agree. Vault says it's a shame because High on Life is good, but almost every voice is Justin. Yeah, I mean, I thought so too. I thought it was like, I thought it was okay, mid, and funny. Not like I said, I wouldn't recommend it, but there were some funny moments, I thought. The voice acting of he has special voice actors in it, some other people in it, and they're funny, I think. Anyways. Ham says she is excited for Silent Hill 2 remake. I mean, Silent Hill 2 might have been the OG horror game that I ever got into. PS2, right? And man, I played endlessly running around the hallways of those fucking hotels and shit that you have to go in and watching. I'm pretty sure 2 is the one where you watch the Pyramid Head dude rail some mannequins through a crack in the closet and stuff. I mean, That game gave me nightmares when I was a kid. Silent Hill 2 shuts out. That's cool. That'll be fun. A game built off the blood and tears of abused women, Parking Tiger says. No thanks. Agreed. Vault Wanderer says, do a Morty impression. I mean, it's not like you don't even, it's an impression is like, he just goes like, oh my God. I mean, I always revert to the Jordan Peterson voice instead of, like, I just can't, especially when I'm trying to do this show. I cannot focus enough to revert to anything but, oh, Jordan Peterson. Oh, what are we going to do without men? That's the only one that I can do while I'm doing a live show. We've got Parking Tigers, or Ham says, Parking Tigers, that's the reason why I quit World of Warcraft. Oh, but off the blood and tears of abused women. I mean, I agree there. Yeah. Well, Blizzard has not had a good reputation with how they treat their employees, especially women. Gross behavior over there. Andy says, I want a voice impression Danny segment. I think that maybe, I mean, like, me and Kevin both have our go-to shticks. Maybe one episode of the podcast we'll do, like, dueling impressions, okay? I don't even know if I have that many impressions, but I have to be, like, prepared for that, honestly. I've always wanted to do voice acting, though. I thought it would be fun. I just talk so much that I naturally go there. How you gonna replace Rick and Morty's voice? I guess with one of these thousands of fucking dudes that post their impressions. I've seen like 1,000 fucking impressions. We'll look at one. Andy does good cartoon voices. I can vouch. Wow, Andy. Let's hear him. Koala Man just came out. Not for me, Parking Tiger said. I wouldn't doubt that. I'd never go as low to Rick and Morty voice impressions, unironically. Yeah, like you just like I do the Teddy Fresh. Ironically. I still have Silent Hill 2 on OG Xbox. Such a good game. Yeah, I agree. Dead Space remake tomorrow. Shame. I'm poor. I might pirate it. It looks so good. Hey, we need to get a Vault Wanderer Dead Space remake fund, okay? If anybody's got any extra money lying around, flick Vault Wanderer a couple quarters so that he can get some Dead Space on. I was, you know what? I'll admit, like, Dead Space, by the time Dead Space was around, the first one, it was too much for me. I couldn't, you know, that, like, requires too much of my attention, and then it would scare the shit out of me. So I kind of naturally strayed from horror games like that, and then my wife is completely scared of horror games, or horror in general, so she won't let me play horror games. So I'm satisfied by, like, sneaking in a couple horror things here and there by myself, or like things that are close to it, like Chucky. I love the Chucky series that they've been doing in Chucky movies and stuff. That's something I can watch with my wife. It's fun. Let's see. I heard some rumors that a Clout Route video game will be dropping in 2024. Is this true? I mean, shit, dude. If we could do a Clout Route video game, if I can get to the point where I can do a Clout Route video game, then I can get canceled. You guys can cancel me after that. Like, fine, you know, whatever the creepy stuff I did or whatever. By then, you know, who knows? It'll never happen. Give me 30 years and there'll probably be a bunch of incredible things that you can expose me on, you know. But play my game. Let's see. I'm bad at impressions, Hash says. Me too, probably. Justin Roiland is an improv guy, though. He does voice acting, but improvs it. I don't know how an impressionist could improv like him. That is interesting. Like, that's the thing, is that somebody will write dialogue that sounds like something Justin Roiland would improv. And then they'll get somebody good enough to do the voice that they can kind of flex and play on that. I mean, I'm confident that they could have never said anything and just moved on with the show and replaced him quietly, and nobody would notice. I bet there's enough people that have tried to do Rick and Morty voices that they could find somebody cheap to do it. Shit, dude. There's some discount Rick and Morty out there. No charity, no, Vault Wanderer says. We're just kidding. We're just playing. My accent is not made for voice acting, Ham says. Yeah, I mean, who knows what my voice is made for? I just like to use it too much, I guess. Anyways, let's move on a little bit here. So, yeah, he's being dropped from everything, and I saw this clip on Twitter, the last scene of Rick and Morty that Justin Roiland will voice. Kind of poetic that it's a cliffhanger, and Morty's last line is "aw, geez." So I'm going to skip to this part where they kind of get meta. They're in like a basement here. Let me pull the footage up, and here we'll watch just a little bit of this because I don't want to get copyright fucked.
Morty, it's all the places he is. Oh, jeez. Welcome to my darkness. I spent my life hunting this guy, Morty. This is the closest I've ever been to catching Rick Prime. It's impossible. He's an incredibly crafty.
So, as context here, I guess if there needs to be context, but like this has to do with like the underlying bullshit story of Rick and Morty that they barely ever fuck with anyways. And he's fine. I don't even know to tell you the truth, honestly. But this is one of his unhinged little bits, and it's just funny. This is how it ends.
Morty, Rick and Morty season 7, hunting my nemesis. Maybe trying to stay healthy while doing it, juggling plates. Not every episode, Morty. It could be all happening in the background. Who knows? You know, no one will except us. It's the most painful shit I've ever had to deal with, and I'm fucking bringing you into it because you asked for it, Morty. You and me, Morty.
So it's funny that they like the show ends to where he's like, all right, next season's about to be like when we do it, dude. Like me and Morty about to get into it, yada yada, and then and I don't know where the whole "aw geez." I mean, it must have been a little earlier in the clip where he says "aw geez," but it's kind of interesting to see. Like, yeah, there you go. If you want to see his last scene that he ever does, it's right there. Ever does as them. It would be I'm highly skeptical of him ever getting to return to that character. It'll have to be years and years down the line, and they're like, "Oh well, we forgive you." I thought this was hilarious. Ricky Burwick, dude. Now I know you guys know Ricky Burwick, and he posted this. Justin Roiland was actually nice to me until he beat me and put me in this chair. So you heard it here. Justin Roiland, not only did he, abuse his spouse or girlfriend or whatever, but Ricky Burwick too. So badly, he got laid up into a fucking... He has to sit in a fucking cart like this and buzz himself around, dude. Can you believe? His legs don't work no more. Justin Roiland says, "You are the fucking best. Just want to tell you that while I'm thinking about it," which is okay. Ricky says, "Dude, thank you. Means a lot." And he says, "Of course, man. I have no idea why you popped into my head, but I was just thinking about how many times I've seen you chime in on some Twitter shit and just make me laugh my ass off. You're a goddamn light on this pile of on this shit pile," which I would say, like, I like Ricky. He's funny sometimes. He's a fucking little weirdo, though. I mean, let's be real. When I saw his naked butt or whatever in that Max Mofo Ricky Burwick collab or whatever, where at the end it's like a bunch of piss play and shit. Ugh, gross, disgusting. But when I saw Ricky Burwick's butt, I was like, I think I might have muted him at that point because I was like, I don't need to see no more butts. But no, I don't think so. But it is funny. Imagine being a creator, online, just a small, I guess Ricky's not really small, but, relatively. And Justin Roiland just hits you up in the DMs and is like, "Hey, dude, I love what you do." I mean, that's awesome. I think that's cool. Unfortunately, it's Justin Roiland. And yeah, and then he beat him and put him in that fucking machine, dude. That sucks. This is sussy. This is really sussy here. So I guess he used to have a podcast, GVP, Justin Roiland did with his friends, I guess. I don't know who. Grandma's Virginity podcast, I guess, which already, ew. But straight from Justin Roiland's mouth, 100 years ago, it was little 13-year-old girls. If they were built like a woman, they were getting married and having kids. And now we're going to be all precious about it. Now, like, don't get me wrong. I can't sit here and be like, yeah, he's not,
as a race, are we?
He's not joking. He's trying to be funny. I just think it's not really funny. And then I don't think it's funny in the first place. It's kind of a weird joke. And then I think retrospectively now, like looking back on it, it's really gross. Let's listen.
As a race, are we that crazy? Like when we were fucking 100 years ago, it was little 13-year-old girls. If they were built like a woman, they were getting married and having kids. And now we're going to be all precious about it. I keep using the word precious today. That's the word of the week.
Which is a movie about a child molester.
Precious.
Right?
Down syndrome baby.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, shit, people say that I say fucked up shit on my podcast. I mean, goddamn. They're laughing about Down syndrome babies. They're laughing about incest or whatever the fuck they said. Built like a woman at 13 years old. Why are we being precious about? Gross. Yeah. Yeah. Where's all the Justin Roiland hate out there? I say, well, I call somebody a shithead and I get in drama for fucking a whole week. And Roiland's out there saying that it's cool to, you know, he wishes it was 100 years ago so that he could diddle little 13-year-olds. Gross, man. This one says, forgot this happened. The world is strange. Now, I did this doc yesterday, so I kind of forget. Oh, this. Do you guys remember this? PewDiePie at one point, and this is like how long ago? I guess it doesn't have a date there on it anywhere, but years ago, it's been a while now, PewDiePie had Elon Musk and Justin Roiland do an episode of his meme review or whatever that was like really popular at the time. What the fuck? I remember when this happened back then, and I think I was almost like, oh yeah, cool, you know, whatever. I kind of maybe rolled my eyes at the time. I wasn't, you know, this might have been pre me hating Elon with a passion. And it's definitely pre me hating Justin Roiland at all. So I can't remember if I was positive or negative on this, but I barely remembered that it happened. And now I'm like, oh God, based meme review, fucking Elon Musk and Justin Roiland. I mean, I would like to go back and watch. There was actually, Vault just says it in chat, which kind of makes me laugh. He says he was on H3H3 too and did a prank call to mega churches. It was kind of funny in my opinion. I would like to go back and maybe one time watch some of those Justin Roiland H3 clips, because I bet they say some fucked up shit in that, dude. You want to expose some shit, I bet you go back and look at those, because Justin Roiland did like charity streams with them, so they're like 8-hour streams. You go back and you watch some of the shit that they did on there, I bet you got a bunch to expose Justin Roiland and Ethan on. Ethan was probably like, you know, 13-year-old girls are based or whatever or something, you know. I'm sure he said something fucked up. And then you had like Justin Roiland in the back with a meme face or whatever, like Joji. I'm sure of it. Go back and check it out and come back with me. Come back to me with the clips. Extra creepy scene. What did I have here? Oh my God. This is what I was thinking of, earlier when I was talking. Like, this is the projection. This is the weird Justin Roiland projection. He basically put himself in a character on the show. But this creeped me out at the time. I can remember when this was on, like when the episode came out. Like, this is when I was definitely watching Rick and Morty, you know, regularly. I'd probably watch it, you know, on Adult Swim at the time it came out. And this clip grossed me out then, dude, and now it's even grosser.
Okay, bye.
No, stay. Go with the flow.
Stop.
So, no, stay. Go with the flow.
You're making me really uncomfortable.
Stop waiting. Just let this happen.
Yeah.
Waiting. Just let this happen.
So there you have it. I mean, Justin Roiland Morty was getting essentially molested in the bathroom way early in his career. So there you go. Now this one, rewinding, the whole show does kind of gross me out in retrospect. Honestly, I don't know. It hits and misses hash. I agree. But, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a lot grosser now in retrospect. Boogie cracked me up with this, and rarely does he crack me up, but I actually think Boogie might have a chance, dude. Maybe get his poor ass at Adult Swim. You won't have to pay him much, I'm sure. He'll shell out easy, and he'll do your Rick and Morty voices, and then they'll get canceled in like one season. They won't have to worry about it anymore.
100.
So let's listen. Let's listen to a bit of it. It might cringe me out too much.
Morty, come check this out. Morty, I'm gonna hit my wife 100 times. Morty, I'm gonna hit her 100 times.
Oh, jeez, Rick. I don't know if you should be doing that, Rick. A lot of people could lose their jobs.
What do you think?
And when she tries to leave, Morty, I'm not gonna let her leave, Morty. She's gotta stay here, Morty. You gotta stay here. Morty, come check this out. Morty, I'm gonna hit my...
So, thoughts in the chat? Boogie having a comeback as Rick and Morty? Almost awful enough to, awful enough to catch my attention. Exactly. Yeah. Awful enough to catch my attention, but good enough to be like, maybe someone should hire Boogie for some voice work. He's got a lot of time on his hands. I'm sure he would love to do that. Justin's next gig. Now this made me fucking laugh my balls off. Can I hire Justin Roiland to make Brick and Gorty now that everyone fired him? I mean, honestly, good on you, Tim Pool. You get to make a fucking good joke one time, maybe. Brick and Gorty is questionable. I don't know if that would be what I would go with there, but I get what I'm picking up what you're putting down, Tim. And this joke passes for me. Let's see. We've got Vault Wanderer saying, was Justin violent too? Yeah. Like I said earlier, the first thing to come out was he was domestic abuse with a girlfriend or something, and there's a whole story to that too. We talked about it on the podcast, but it was like he held her against her will and stuff. It was some gross shit. I don't know. But you've also got Honest Sports Takes down here, which I love. Honest Sports on Twitter says, can you hire a known groomer and abuser? It seems conservatives only care about grooming when it's to push a message. Vault Wanderer in the chat, I hope you take that constructive criticism there. I'm just kidding. But it is kind of funny. But there you go. I mean, it's weird. It's definitely weird. The past the past 3 morning shows now, this one and the past 2, have been, talking about, I've been talking about people specifically. I think it's a lot of fun to go through some of these major downfalls of some of these weirdos, and 2 now out of 3. I mean, obviously I'm not a Santos fan, but 2 out of the 3 people that I've talked about have been people that I was a fan of at one point. Andrew Callahan, and all that shit's very controversial. And now Justin, and all this shit's very controversial. And they kind of all happened around the same time. It's been all going on, and different allegations and different things have been coming out here and there. But we said it once on the podcast, and I'll say it again. I do like to mention, me being the H3 connoisseur that I am, that you all accuse me of being, all of these people, Justin Roiland, Andrew Callahan, H3 associates. Like, who's the next? Who's the next? And maybe we should make a poll about it on Twitter. Who's the next H3 associate to get accused of some dirty ass shit? Now, I don't think it's Ethan. And as much as everybody wants it to be Ethan, I think that Ethan is just too lame. He's at home doing nothing, dude. He's vanilla as fuck. He's got kids. He's crying out his dog dying, which, rest in peace to the dog. It hasn't died yet. Shit. But you know what I'm saying. I love the dogs, and his kids are very nice. That's all very nice. But he's boring. He's not, in the DMs. So, yes, I see Hassan Piker. I see Kevin is next, which I disagree with. Kevin is, as much as he would like to argue, Kevin is probably very similar in his personal life to H3, where he's just like chilling. Not much. I'm not outing Kevin by saying that he's probably just chilling most of the time. I'm just chilling most of the time. We're not doing anything crazy. But Hassan Piker, now that's a guy, come into a lot of money, good looking dude. It's hard to disagree. He's a good-looking dude. The thing is that Andrew Callahan and Justin both are scum-of-the-earth, dirt-looking dudes like me that were taking advantage of women because they had a bunch of money. Now, Hassan, there's potential there. There's potential. I can't imagine myself doing an episode of this show where I'm like, yeah, well, the allegations are out and Hassan fucking did this. Golly. Stop it. I don't want to hear any of that shit. So maybe I'll make a poll. Who's the next H3 associate to get canceled? Howie Mandel, maybe? I don't know. AB, yeah, maybe he'll get canceled before his boxing event. Who knows? But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed my little expose. Not really, this little chat about Justin Roiland and his little weirdness. I love coming on the morning show and just kind of having a casual conversation with everybody and talking about, who is the guy of... It seems to be the guy of the week because women have had a good year so far, okay? It's definitely all the infidelity, all the degenerate behavior is from the guys so far this year. So women have been having a great year. I hope I don't have to cover like Amanda Bynes or something here soon on the pod, but on the morning show. But yes, somebody says it's only January. Ham says it's only January, so we'll see. White Claw Gabe canceled next for accidentally groping a fan at a meetup. I could see that. Headline. There you go. Dropping it here. That's my guess. Anyways, I will talk at all of y'all later. Thank you for joining me. I love it. I love seeing y'all. Parking Tigers, Vault Wanderer, Ham, Hash, Andy, Sebastian, Pulling Spring, Body, all you guys. Love to see you. Thanks again. Take it easy. Peace.